I was still speaking through the wound. I was still speaking through, I'm not worthy, but you can experience great shifts in what you attract in, including love and for your friendships as well, just based upon you starting to do the inner work. Because remember, your voice is nothing but an echo of what you believe about yourself and the world. Let's talk about love in your voice. Let's talk about the vocal wound. Let's talk about all the good things and the bad things that make me. All right, let's talk about the relationship between your voice, your emotions, your healing journey, and how to attract in the love of your life. I just made a post about this on Instagram and it's going crazy. You guys loved it. So this is my opportunity to talk about it more and expand on that post so it makes even more sense and it's even more clear for you really truly how our voice can affect and cause everything we want and don't want in our lives. Because ultimately, what we have to understand is that our voice is a mirror or echo of whatever is going on inside of us. So if you are sitting with a lot of pain, your voice will reflect that. If you're sitting with joy and abundance, your voice will reflect that. If you are here on this earth feeling unworthy, your voice will reflect that. If you feel worthy, your voice reflects that. We're going to talk about how it reflects that physically, audibly in just a second. But I want you just to think about a time recently where you were with someone, a coworker, a friend, a significant other, your kid, and you asked how they were. And was there a moment where someone's tone of voice was at direct opposition to how they said they were? So someone might have said, I'm doing great. Thanks for asking. But you sense just for a flicker that that was a lie. They are actually not well, not great, not happy, even though they just said they're fine. Things are going well. Perhaps you've even done the same. We've all done it. Oh my God. It's the cutest little white lie we all tell the world. Because for many reasons, we don't want to burden people with what's really going on. We're just being socially polite. But the point here is that you can tell just from tone of voice alone if someone really is okay, like they said they were, right? How? Why? Everything is energy. No, literally everything is energy. I'm not talking fluffy stuff here. When I speak, I am moving molecules of air in a specific wavelength and it's hitting your eardrum and you're taking that energy from the wave, from the sound waves itself, which are just air molecules moving in space, and you're converting that energy into a different type of energy that is information, and your brain is taking that to the auditory canal, through the auditory nerve, into your temporal lobe, and beep, boop, bop, pulling levers, pushing buttons, ones and zeros, ones and zeros. Your understanding and my words have meaning to you. That's communication, but it's all energy. And to take it back a step further or a step deeper, I am sitting here as a human being feeling a desire, feeling a certain way about what I need to tell you today. I need to tell you this because this is like profound and blowing my mind. I need to talk to you about communication. So I have an energy, I have a feeling, I have an emotion. That's an energy. And then it's stimulating my brain and it's helping me articulate the words, and my heart as an emotion and the human side of me is affecting everything from the tone of my voice to the pacing, the volume, the enunciation of certain words, the speed at which I'm delivering everything, my hand gestures, if you happen to be watching this on YouTube or other places, the video format. All of this is because I feel an energy about what I'm telling you. We pass what we believe to be true about the world and ourselves. So that's why I say the voice is nothing but a mirror. The voice is nothing but an echo of what's going on inside of you. Now let's relate this to connecting with other people. When I was going through my divorce about 10 years ago now, and living alone in my apartment in Oswego, I was at the lowest point I have ever been in consecutively, like 45 days straight of hell that I couldn't crawl out of. I didn't feel any pleasure. I didn't want to eat. I lost a lot of weight. I was reclusive. I just was in going to classes, getting my graduate degree, but then coming home to my apartment and shutting the door, drinking wine and eating chips. Like that's all I could do. And watching a lot of The Office and trying to laugh. But I was in a really dark spot and my voice reflected that. I wasn't able to laugh. I wasn't hitting a lot of higher pitches, which we'll talk about what that means in just a second in relationship to emotion. My voice was very low and monotone. Now, remember what I said. The voice is a mirror, a reflection, an echo of what's going on inside of you. So when someone is sad, what do you know about their voice? How can you tell they're sad? Because they sound sad, right? Their voice is lower. Their voice is monotone. It sounds tired and flat, and it lacks a lot of peppiness. That's because that person in that moment can only give a vocal pitch and a vocal variety, a vocal sound, or what I refer to as their vocal presence that indicates exactly what's going on inside of them. So in other words, someone who is sad is going to have a lower pitch voice because they literally are not in a frequency themselves of a higher tone, higher vibration, higher words frequency, and frequency of energy, frequency of voice. Once I healed from my pain of the divorce and started taking care of myself, believing I was worthy, believing that it was safe to feel feelings of like love and joy and optimism and hope again, my voice began to express that. I started to get higher, like I am right now, in my pitch. And what I was able to do was speak the full gamut from a low tone pitch to a high pitch. In other words, my variety, my vocal presence had a new landscape, a new terrain of valleys and peaks, of forest and water. In other words, my emotional aperture had expanded. And what's fascinating is right along with the aperture of your emotions expanding, so does the aperture, in a sense, of your vocal variety and presence. So I was signaling to the world, I've done the work. I can feel the lows of my lows and I can feel the highs of my highs. I've learned how to hold that all and go there. And I do go there. And I'm showing you and signaling to you with my voice itself. This is about understanding that your voice can only do what you are. Your voice can only be who you are inside. And on the receiving end of that, I can tell in a second your emotional capacity just by having you utter a sentence to me. To bring it back to my divorce, when I started to heal and take care of my body and do meditation and manifesting and exercise and eat better and decrease the alcohol and started to become more social and practicing my voice and practicing loving myself through my voice and loving others with my voice, I was signaling to the world, I have healed and I love myself. I love my lows and I love my highs. Now think about that in terms of a partner. Because would you want to date someone? Would you trust someone that only has one voice all of the time? What does that signal to you if someone's constantly down here? Maybe that person's tired. And if they're tired, how are they going to have energy to go on dates with you? Maybe that person's a little sad because their voice is indicating they're sad. Maybe that person's just a really deep thinker and kind of jaded. It's true, right? We all know these people. Okay. So it's like we have to understand that we then will project that vocal fingerprint into the world, and what you project is what you get back. So for a hot minute there, when I was going through my divorce, single, and I started to date just for fun again, I was attracting in some really broken men because my voice still had what I call a vocal wound. I was still speaking through the wound. I was still speaking through, I'm not worthy, and I'm afraid of love, and I'm afraid of trust. And anytime that I expand into my power and I show my real self, people leave me. I don't want to go through that. I don't want to get hurt again. And also, I'm not worthy. Even though I wasn't consciously thinking of those things, subconsciously, and my body and my voice itself was speaking through that filter that I call the vocal wound. And our job, as I see it, is to clean that up, to heal as much as we can. Does it happen overnight? No, but you can experience great shifts in what you attract in, including love and for your friendships as well, can all increase in their positivity and in their refinement and in the energy of those relationships, just based upon you starting to do the inner work. Because remember, your voice is nothing but an echo of what you believe about yourself and the world. And then I met Brandon, and the voice he heard was this voice. No wonder he was so attracted to it. No wonder I was able to draw him in like a little honeybee to the flower, because I was speaking from no longer the wound of I'm not worthy, but I was speaking from my worth. And my voice said to him, not only can I hold the full capacity of me, but I can hold the full capacity of you. Is this making sense? Okay. So what does this mean for you? I want you to just listen to a recording of yourself. And if you don't have a recording of yourself, you can make one. Just go to your app inside of your phone that's called the camera and hit the video and record yourself. And all you need is your audio. And I just want you to listen. Are you really low all the time? Are you really high all the time and you never really come down? You're just constantly high and excited all the time and you never really want to ground and tether. Or are you able to give vocal variety? And then notice the topics that you're talking about where you do have vocal variety. Are you more relaxed? Do you love talking about that? It must be so. Are you lit up? Are you potent? Potency, opulence, womb, entrainment, and reverence. Those are the 5 vocal power codes. The very first one is potency. Are you talking about what lights you up? This is why. It's so important. And by the way, wherever you're reading or listening to this, check out, get the download of the 5 vocal power codes. I've got a free guidebook below to walk you through that with some exercises on how to like think about it, ponder it, and then journal. And this is going to help reorient and give you a new relationship to your vocal powers is really important. And you're seeing why. Because if you are not talking about what lights you up, your voice might be dull and boring because, oh my God, you're bored. Remember, it's about also the person hearing you. So if you've got clients, you've got students, you've got kids, if you're in a relationship with other people who hear your voice, think of how they're hearing your voice now. They're going to be reading, encoding. You literally are encoding information to them through your voice, and they're decoding and deciphering. She's bored. He's annoyed. He's tired. She's all in her head. I don't think she's even considered me. I can't feel any depth to her. So your voice is constantly setting signals on where you are with your own self. And so if you're looking to enhance the love, the intimacy, the sexuality in your relationship, we need to be able to show our partner that they're safe to be with us. And one of the ways you can do that, and the way that I attracted Brandon in, is by doing the inner work yourself. You have to be in a better relationship with yourself. You have to be willing to do the inner work, the meditation, the breath work, the somatic practices, the contemplation, and do the things that make you and put you in your most potent state. And then you're going to speak from that place. Okay? I hope this serves you so deeply. I'm excited to hear what you think. So let me know in the comments what really made you think. Do you have questions on anything? Did this make you think of anyone in particular? Is this Oh my God, like your past marriage and past relationship 100%. Don't forget, find the link below, download the free guide to understand more about your 5 vocal power codes. And if you're watching this on YouTube, I really appreciate if you liked this video, subscribed, and maybe shared this with someone who you think would find this really fascinating. I appreciate it, guys, and I'll see you in the next episode.